Happy, happy. It's a Thursday today. Well, I did my 100 marathon a couple of days ago, and I was very excited about it. So it made me realize that, okay, I can do another 100 before the year runs out. It was a great experience for me, and it's just setting your mind to do things and believing that you could accomplish it. A lot of times we always think accomplishment has to be something to do with finances. A lot of time that isn't the case, but mental toughness and spiritual enlightenment can also be part of the equation. And that part of equation for me was to actually just get up and say, okay, I'm going to run a marathon every day. I want to run 100 marathons, and just to see what it feels like. So what it's done for me is it makes me see life differently. It actually, a sense of what I call it, gratitude. Gave me a sense of gratitude and a sense of believing in myself. It is funny, lately I hear a lot of bashing of Atlanta. People always talk about how Atlanta's this, how Atlanta's that. And the beautiful thing about it is they never talked about the good thing that is actually going on in Atlanta. So I always wanted to say, for all those people who have experienced bad things in Atlanta, is pretty much saying, I am sorry for all that you've experienced. But I also want you to realize that a lot of times we attract what we experienced, because we all have that power within us, and I think we tend to forget it. So we tend to attract what we create, and we blame it on everything, especially when we do not know anything about it. The unique thing about Atlanta, Georgia is the community that different people have. People always talk about the fakeness of Atlanta, and it's really funny, and I look at it and I'm just sort of like, because I remember growing up too, I was born and raised in England, and the whole idea of happiness was you got to travel to another country. And as I begin to get older, I realized the dream that I've actually been chasing was actually within me. I'm on the trail this morning, like I'm always. The dream that I'm actually chasing was actually within me. It never went anywhere. So when I begin to travel everywhere, thinking if I run away from my problem and move to another city, that my problem will disappear, it was actually impossible, because everywhere I go, that problem is there, and I create that reality. So once I begin to realize I create my own reality, and everything that has transpired in my life is actually my fault, it allows me to eliminate what people think of my situation or whatever I'm going through, because I've really took control of my own mental destiny, I call it, because I truly believe your health is your wealth. So once I begin to take over those things, I don't really it doesn't really bother me how people feel anymore, because I know everything, I created it. I have that power within me to say I want to do this, and it just transpires. I even started to bring it into finances right now, when I started to realize that I could actually do anything that I wanted. So, and through many years of practicing yoga and meditating, and what I first did is I took over my whole body. I took over my mind, because once I took over my body by watching what I eat, exercising regular, I see things differently. Because once you begin to take over your body, you're different. Your thinking changes. You have less fear. Look at that beautiful down here. You have less fear. And that's the reason why a lot of times, a lot of spiritual leaders, motivational speakers, even though they have developed a good speaking speech, which is very easy to draw people and take away their attention, but in most cases, not many actually practice what they preach. And because many of us, we never look outside, we always look outside of ourselves, we tend to forget that these beautiful people that is actually getting up on the stage to speak in front of thousands of people, which can be extremely difficult. They are just like you and I, like everyone else. But the reality is, we gravitate so much. So I got to take time. I got to slow down with that one here. See this. We gravitate so much. Let me see. We gravitate so much to what is outside of us that we don't even take a second to actually look within us and say, well, maybe I'm the problem. Maybe I should change the way I think. I developed a habit over the years where every morning I make sure I read. And I realized the more I read every morning, which is part of my daily practice, I realized all these years I've never really learned how to read properly. Because there are two types of reading. There is the reading that you read. Look at that. I would have gone out there, but I'm just going to leave it alone. There's two types of readings. There's the reading that you read just to survive, or memorize things, or to get by. But once you begin to read different texts of books, spiritual books, intellectually and spiritually, it is absolutely different. I love this nature. I got to come down here a lot more now. This is it. So, and those are the things that I've gotten to learn right now. And the whole thing about, Atlanta is this is that. That is not the way Atlanta is. Any bad things that happen to any individual, it is because they are attracted. Energy is everywhere. I always hear these things about, oh, men are this, Atlanta woman is this. No. And I can say this because I'm single. And just because I'm not laying up with somebody doesn't mean Atlanta woman is bad. It is just a journey that I'm on, or it's still a reality that I'm creating. So to say that, and even when I was married, I had a beautiful marriage. And it's just that different energy at different times. So you go your separate ways. So when I hear all these people, all these beautiful people coming down here and talking about, oh, Atlanta this, Atlanta that. It is in Atlanta. Like, for example, we have a great running community in Atlanta. Beautiful trails. We have so many running groups, from Black Men Run to Black Girls Run. You see a lot of good things in Atlanta. And I think the reason why a lot of people hasn't seen it, you gravitate towards to what you attract. We never, and it's so funny, even on the social media, we never talked about stuff like the Black Man Run, the yoga centers that is here, all the good things that is here. Every time somebody put up any negativity about Atlanta, everybody just gravitate towards it. It gets so widely spread. Not to mention, we have the Tyler Perry studio here in Atlanta, and the community is growing. And not to mention, to all the people that's actually about Atlanta, remember this is where the civil rights king lives. Because anyone that's actually picked up a book and read it will have known about Dr. King and all those great guys. So for all these new things, and people will start blaming in Atlanta, it is in Atlanta. It is the energy that is in you. And all you have to do, I'm not going to charge you for this information. It's free. It's begin to write to yourself. Begin to see the beauty in Atlanta. Begin to see the trees, the trails. And this is free of charge because I don't want you to think about Atlanta as the bad thing. I want you to be able to sit down by yourself and realize this is my fault. And write to yourself with your opposite hand. Say, I'm sorry. Say, I'm sorry to yourself. Write to your spine. Write to every single part of your body. And you'll be amazed when you begin to write with your opposite hand to yourself, to your whole body. And I mean, writing, it isn't just writing for one day. It has to be consistent. Like it's an everyday thing. Do push-ups, move your body. And you will begin to see the vibration of Atlanta, the beauty of it. So I'm actually saying this because for the sake of our younger generation, we need to portray the positive side. The history that makes this Georgia, Atlanta, whatever you want to call it. And that history that a lot of people don't want to talk about due to that. Because everybody just moved down there. And mind you, I see myself as a southerner now. I've lived there for years. And I just love nature. I love the fact that I can run all year round without ever having to worry. I mean, like the cold here doesn't really get cold to where I cannot run whenever I want. So those type of things, when you're a nature person, you see Atlanta, you see Georgia differently. And when you're a party person, Atlanta will give you that party. That's just how it is. Whatever you want to do, Atlanta has the energy for you. But the truth is, you have to create the energy that you want. You have to create the energy that you want. You have to bring your own dream, not your negativities, your own dream. And realize that once you bring that good energy to Atlanta, everything will be totally different. So today I'm starting a new one again. I'm going to see. I want to run another 100 marathons before the year ends. Going to see how that goes again. I completed the first 100. And it is done by real humbleness. I always say these things like, I truly give. Oh, look at this beautiful day. That's a lot for you, nature. I truly give that divine energy, the woman energy, because pushing my body like this is all due to the fact that I saw my son being pushed out by his mother. And that really inspired me even more to move my body. And this is in a competition because you have to be on the ego. Your ego has to be dropped on the... Your ego needs to be on the check to be able to do this all the time. It requires a lot of yoga, meditation, reading. And it's just all about seeking that enlightenment. Knowing who you are. A lot of praise. I went through... I mean, you name it, I've gotten to pray and pray until I drop. Then I got into home and home. So in reality, when you look at it all, this whole running and movement thing isn't just a run. It is a way to connect to who you are. It is just like yoga. If you're running, yoga needs to be your daily commitment. Doing your push-ups, because you know what? Once you relax that spine, once you open that kundalini, that chakras they always call it, because running actually opens you up to be able to stretch properly, walking, all those things, even though we don't realize it. So today is marathon number 1 again, like I said, back in April the 18th. I truly just love this universe. I continue to grow every day. Every day I'm always making mistakes. The only good thing about my mistake is every morning I have the opportunity to erase that mistake and be like, ah, biscuit, let's start over again. So yes, let me focus here. Let me see on this. Let me focus here on this beautiful morning on this beautiful trail. This is where it is all at. Get with yourself. This is where it all begins, right in here. So I'm gonna say yes, happy, I think it's Thursday, it's almost the weekend. Let me go ahead and do this, another marathon. I'm just gonna run a marathon until my head tells me, okay, slow it down, switch play. But for now, let's go. I really wanna get 200 marathons in this year. So I'm gonna see. The first 100 was a success. I pretty much did it on the apple. What did I have? My favorite food on the run was the bananas. I'll have like 4 bananas, 2 avocados, and an apple. That's what I did it with. 4 bananas, 2 avocados, and an apple. I think Kroger needs to sponsor me now because I bought a lot of avocados this year. So I'm going to say happy Thursday. One love. And Atlanta, man, beautiful place. Move down to Georgia. I share.